The quote hung above Kabir's workbench in bold black letters. "Winners never quit. Quitters never win." He read it every morning at 4:30, before the city woke up, before the smell of sawdust filled the air. It was the first thing he saw. It was the reason he stayed. Kabir built custom furniture, hand-carved, made to order, every joint cut by hand. 3 years ago, he had walked out of a stable job to open the workshop, and everyone had called him brave. His father called it something else. For the first year, the bravery felt real. He worked 16-hour days. He skipped his cousin's wedding to finish a dining table. He learned to sleep 4 hours and call it discipline. But the orders never grew. 5 a month, sometimes 6, never more. The money went out faster than it came in, and slowly, quietly, his savings account became a countdown clock. His younger brother sat him down in the second year with a simple observation. The market didn't want 6-week custom pieces. It wanted Klee. The market didn't want 6-week custom pieces. It wanted clean, modular furniture, ready in 3 days. Why not build that? Kabir refused, not because the idea was bad, because it felt like surrender. He had read the biographies. Every founder, every athlete, every legend had a chapter where everyone told them to stop, and the whole point of the chapter was that they didn't. Quitting was what weak people did right before the breakthrough. So he doubled down. He borrowed money. He worked harder than he had ever worked in his life. Month 38. The electricity had been cut for non-payment, and Kabir sat alone in the dark workshop, surrounded by half-finished chairs nobody had ordered. His hands ached. His eyes burned. He whispered the quote to himself like a prayer. "I can't quit. I can't quit." And then a thought arrived that frightened him more than the debt ever had. He could no longer remember why he was doing this, only that stopping was forbidden. Was Kabir a hero one push away from victory, or was he trapped? But here's what psychology actually says about people like Kabir. And the real answer is stranger than his story. You've been raised on the gospel of grit. You've heard it in graduation speeches, in gym posters, in the voice in your own head at 2 a.m. Stick with it. Push through. Never give up. And for about a decade, science seemed to agree. Psychologist Angela Duckworth studied cadets at West Point, one of the most brutal military academies in the world, and found that a quality she called grit predicted who survived the punishing first summer better than talent or fitness scores did. Grit, in her definition, is passion and perseverance for long-term goals. Her research became a famous TED Talk, then a best-selling book, then a movement. Schools started grading children on it. Then, researchers did what researchers do. In 2017, psychologist Marcus Crede and his colleagues published a meta-analysis of grit research. A meta-analysis is a study of studies. Instead of running one new experiment, it combines the results of dozens of previous ones to see what the evidence says as a whole. Crede's team pooled data from tens of thousands of people, and the picture changed. Grit turned out to be a surprisingly weak predictor of success. Most of its power came from something psychologists had already measured for decades, a trait called conscientiousness, which simply means being organized, responsible, and hardworking. The perseverance part of grit did some real work. The never change direction part added almost nothing. Read that again. The part of grit that means keep making effort helps you. So why does your brain scream at you to keep going, even when the evidence says stop? Why did Kabir sit in a dark workshop defending a strategy that had failed for 38 straight months? Because of a glitch in your wiring called the sunk cost fallacy. In 1985, psychologists Hal Arkays and Catherine Bloomer ran a now-famous experiment with theater tickets. Some customers paid full price for a season pass. Others, at random, got a discount. Logically, the price you paid should not affect how much you enjoy the shows. But the people who paid more attended significantly more performances, even the ones they didn't want to see. They weren't going toward pleasure. They were going to justify what they had already spent. That's the trap. Your brain doesn't ask, "What will this give me tomorrow?" It asks, "What have I already poured into this?" Every rupee, every hour, every sacrifice becomes a reason to continue, even when continuing only deepens the hole. The 3 years Kabir had invested were not evidence his plan would work. They just felt like it. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. Scientists have studied what happens to people who quit unreachable goals. Not lazy people. Realistic ones. Psychologists Karsten Rosch and Gregory Miller followed people who faced goals that had genuinely become unattainable. They found that the people who could disengage, meaning consciously let go and redirect their energy, showed lower levels of cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, and lower levels of inflammation in their blood. The people who couldn't let go stayed chemically stressed for months. Their bodies paid rent on a goal that was already gone. Quitting the right things, it turns out, is not just a career skill. It's a health behavior. Still feels wrong, doesn't it? Then consider one of the strangest experiments ever run on this question. Economist Stephen Levitt recruited over 20,000 people who were stuck on a major life decision. Should I quit my job? Should I end this relationship? Should I move? People who genuinely could not decide agreed to let a coin flip choose for them. Heads meant make the change. Tails meant stay. When Levitt followed up 6 months later, the people who had been nudged into quitting reported being significantly happier than the ones who stayed. On the biggest decisions of their lives, people systematically erred on the side of not quitting. The coin knew something their instincts didn't. So is persistence a lie? No. And this is the twist that changes everything. Look closely at genuinely successful people, and you'll find they quit constantly. They abandon products, strategies, drafts, business models, entire careers. Even Duckworth, the scientist behind grit, is careful about this. Gritty people, she points out, give up on lower-level goals all the time. What they refuse to abandon is the goal at the very top. The mission survives. The methods are disposable. That's the difference between blind grit and strategic quitting. Author Seth Godin calls the hard middle stretch of any worthwhile pursuit the dip, the long slog between starting and mastering, and says winners push through dips but quit dead ends fast. A dip gets better with effort. A dead end doesn't care how hard you work. How do you tell them apart in your own life? 3 questions. First, is effort still moving the needle, even slowly? In a dip, more skill produces more results. In a dead end, the results flatline no matter what you pour in. Kabir's craftsmanship improved every year. His orders didn't. That's a flatline. Second, are you staying for future returns or past investment? Finish this sentence honestly. I'm continuing because. If the next words are about what's ahead, that's a reason. If they're about what you've already spent, that's the sunk cost fallacy wearing a costume. Third, the zero-based question. If you were starting fresh today, knowing everything you now know, would you choose this exact path? If the answer is no, you're not persevering. You're commemorating. Kabir asked himself these questions on the floor of that dark workshop, and he realized something the poster above his bench had hidden from him. Furniture was never the mission. Building something of his own, with his own hands, on his own terms. That was the mission. Hand-carved 6-week commissions were just a method, and the method was a dead end. So he quit, not the workshop, the strategy. He designed a small line of clean, modular pieces that could ship in 3 days, and kept custom work as a premium option for the few who wanted it. It felt like betrayal for about a month. Then the first repeat order came in. Then 10. 18 months later, the workshop had 2 employees and a waiting list, and Kabir slept 6 hours a night without calling it weakness.
Now bring this home to you. Somewhere in your life, there is a Kabir project, a goal you're grinding on not because it's working, but because you've decided that stopping would make you a quitter. Tonight, put it through the 3 questions. Is effort moving the needle? Are you facing forward or backward? Would you start it again today? Answer honestly, and one of 2 things happens. Either you rediscover why the goal deserves you, and your persistence becomes a choice instead of a cage, or you free years of your life for something that can actually grow. Persistence is a tool. It was never meant to be your identity. The quote still hangs above Kabir's workbench. Winners never quit. But he reads it differently now because he finally knows the line it always left out. Winners quit all the time. They just never quit the reason they started.